It's all been leading to this moment, folks. A notepad file has been sitting in my ideas folder for years, titled Alternate Reality. It was initially going to be a serious look at how things could have been different for Counter-Strike had different things happened. But every idea I had was a silly one, and slowly, over time, a story unfolded involving a supermarket conspiracy, tins of beans and sweaty, flailing man-flesh everywhere. The final piece of the puzzle was Counter-Strike 2. People hate it, and wish it had never come out. So it made the title of the video very easy. What if Counter-Strike 2 didn't exist? It's such an obvious piece of content to make with hindsight. I almost didn't need to make a video to go along with that. People just love to see a video with a title like that because it lets them post how they feel about that topic in the comments section or on Reddit or whatever. But I am very pleased I did make the video I did because it's a right banger, and such an obvious piece of content to make with hindsight. But that's the case with most good ideas, isn't it? But coming up with them is still only half the challenge. The other half is in the execution, and that's the bit of this video that I think people have the problems with. I spent hours typing up that video script on the way to Cologne. I feel sorry for the guy sat next to me on the train. He must have been looking across like, what is this guy doing? Once I reached Cologne, I continued to tweak it again and again. Then more on the way back. I narrated the script, but then came up with more ideas for it, so I wrote it all down and recorded it again, and again, and again. This was to be a love letter to everything the Click Empire stands for. Hundreds of ideas, all rolled into a concentrated, creative burst of storytelling. One of those really special videos I think will be enjoyed for years to come. Come to think of it, it would have worked perfectly well as just an audio experience, no video at all. It would have saved me a hell lot of work. But this is YouTube and video content is expected. And it's free to add, right? Might as well add it in if it's going to be played as a video in the YouTube player. If people don't want to watch the video, they can just close their eyes. It's the kind of content that would work without the video to go with it. Although I personally think the video content and all the little sketches I added to it actually make it better. So for the video, I used real and pre-made content and images wherever possible. And I really did. 60% of the footage in this video isn't AI generated at all, which is pretty impressive when the video is about a baked bean supermarket taking over the world. A lot of these sketches did require a lot of time and effort to make, which I have to emphasize because people think I was being lazy with this video, when actually it took about a week of my life to make, and that's despite using AI generated imagery for 40% of it. So what if I didn't use AI for this video at all? This is actually when I stopped working on this video that you're now watching, and I went back and did that 40% of the other video, but without AI of any sort. You can see it here compared with the original. And replacing all these AI images actually didn't take that long. I just hastily photoshopped a few pictures and swapped AI images out for non-AI ones. I even like this new image I came up with of Al Diddle Diddle's lettuce marketing preying on Liz Truss. So no, I guess I didn't need to use AI for this video. I just used it because I had no good ideas for the filler content that I was using AI to generate images for. So I just hoped that by using AI, it would come up with something more relevant to the subject matter than I'd have done otherwise. And I think it did, and in some ways it did a much better job than I could have imagined. So yeah, I still think the AI version of this video is better, but in an attempt to appease everybody, I have released a non-AI version of that video as well. But I suppose all this drama really boils down to a difference between how I see my content and how other people do. My videos are script-led, that's what's important about them, that's what the video is based around. However, I spend about 90% of my time just piecing the video content for these scripts together. It's fine when I'm demonstrating something in a way that aids the narration, but a lot of the time I'm just trying to fill empty spaces. And so with this video, I saw no problem in using AI filler for that because it's only going to be some kind of low quality filler anyway. And I'm always interested to see what AI can do with my imaginative prompts. But I suppose to a viewer, when they see AI content, they think they're being robbed of quality content. No, they're just being robbed of seeing low quality, non-AI generated content. I suppose the other alternative would be to pay a lot of money to artists to draw dozens of original images for me, but again this would only be for a few seconds of filler footage. This would come to great expense to myself and also at a great time expense. The moment you introduce other people to your workflow, it bogs down the entire thing, and it's no fault on the other people, it's just extra cogs and complications in a machine that really, in this case, isn't needed, because again it's just filler footage for an audio-led piece of entertainment. So AI is actually a perfect use case for a video like this. It even has that zany, silly style that actually fits the filler footage I needed for it perfectly. I can tell it to create a supermarket image of lots of children excitedly picking up drones. It's quite dark and morbid in a way. No, I think this adds to the video. I told it to draw a little shop called Sainsbury's with an image of two fists bumping, and it added some people out the front bumping fists. I think that adds to the video as well. Had I drawn the image, I wouldn't have thought of adding that. So like I said, this is how AI imagery is meant to be used, and it saddens me to see so many people being so blindly black and white about this, simply because AI bad. The use of AI content is an incredibly complex and nuanced topic that I understand most people just don't have the time to understand, so paint it as a black and white affair where if somebody uses AI, it's bad, and the whole content it's associated with must be bad, and the person using it must also be a bad person. Take this guy for instance, saying that these AI-generated images, in 40% of this video, have made him lose interest in my channel. Not just the video it's used in the entire channel. So alright, I get it. This video here contains 40% AI-generated imagery. I get that. But this one? None. This one? None. None. None, 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 none. You get the idea. Now, to give him credit, my older videos did use a bit more AI-generated stuff. So let's go through the 12 videos I made before these latest 12. This thumbnail here is AI-generated, of a vac wave headed for a cheetah. Okay, you might see this as excessive use of AI content. It's actually like 3 or 4 different AI-generated images all spliced together in Photoshop. This one does feature an AI head, but it's only because it was the display profile picture used by the person who got banned that I'm talking about in this video. So yes, technically this thumbnail does contain AI-generated content, but I didn't make it. This is merely a symptom of AI creeping into everything these days. This one doesn't have any AI, and this video's thumbnail doesn't either. But it was accused of being AI generated, because it looks weird. It's actually a reference back to a movie called Logan's Run, where people are killed when they reach the age of 30, and I couldn't resist using it here because it is super relevant to the topic. So like I said, not AI, but people still accused it of being AI, because people don't have a clue these days. And the video itself does contain a few briefly shown images of AI-generated 30-something-year-old Counter-Strike players because it was a joke and I found it quite amusing. I thought the background of this one was AI-generated, but it's actually just an image from the video itself that I blurred. And the video itself briefly shows these few AI-generated images of DRM setting fire to a PC. And there's also this image of a robot using a computer, as I'm talking about players using AI to assist in cheating. In this one, I'm saying that Counter-Strike wouldn't be criticised so much for encouraging terrorism if it was portrayed in a different art style, like cowboys and Indians or a cartoon format, and I use AI to generate Counter-Strike in those styles. Because how else am I meant to do that? But yes, I was still accused of using it. But then another person in that video accused me of AI generating my voice, and he was completely wrong. And lastly, these videos' backgrounds are AI generated because I needed some kind of colourful backdrop. If I'm honest, these are 2 of the best thumbnails I've ever made. So it's interesting for me to go through my videos like this and to see how I've used AI in these past 6 months. It's definitely creeping in here and there, but equally, it's clearly very acceptable to use AI in all these situations, unless you're just trying to be outraged because AI has been used for something. And his stance on this, where any use of AI is seemingly excessive, makes more sense when you understand that he's an artist who likely has good reasons to resent the use of AI artwork. But he can't just apply his context to my use of it, because that would be missing the point entirely, since I don't make artwork, I make videos. Is my latest video's thumbnail AI generated? Yes and no. It's actually running through a YouTube test that pits 3 different thumbnails against each other to see which gathers the best audience retention. I've got an AI generated logo, an AI generated scene, and one that's just 2 photoshopped faces. The one that's obviously AI isn't actually doing the worst. But luckily for you, it looks like the one that's the non-AI one is winning. Probably because it's got faces on it, which people like to click on. I'll be doing the same test on the non-AI generated video, with the same face image versus 2 non-AI generated ones from the video, and we'll see if the same face one wins that. When it comes to accusing someone of using AI, I suppose it's intentional, but the moment people see something about a video that's AI, they immediately assume that the whole video must be. Maybe despite any work that I've put into it. They think my video script, which took so many hours and revisions, was all just AI generated. Hell, why not accuse my voice of being AI as well while they're at it? Because surely it's better to accuse me of using AI and to be wrong than to have been tricked by sneaky use of AI, isn't it? You may take delight in being like, well, it serves you right for using AI imagery, but really it does the opposite. It's like if you accuse somebody of committing a crime that they didn't do, they're already being punished for it, so they might as well have done the crime and have reaped the rewards of doing it as well. If you're going to attack the non-AI generated components of a video, then you're not discouraging the use of AI. You're actually encouraging more use of it, or sneakier use of it. It's going to accelerate the enshittification of the internet, and will stifle the people who are actually being creative and imaginative with their content, with or without the aid of AI. If I was smart or looking for profit, I'd make a public announcement being like, okay, I promise I won't use AI ever again, sorry, or I'd use it sneakily in ways that people would never detect. But I'm not like that. I love making things, and an AI tool that enables more creative things is great for me. We're living in a very turbulent world where anything is a polarised topic that will gain you haters. People love to hate on Valve neglecting Counter-Strike, so 3clicks Philip, being a Counter-Strike channel, has come under fire for making Counter-Strike content, because that must make me a Valve apologist or a shill of some sort. In fact, you'd think those sorts of people would enjoy a video like this, speculating about how life could be like without Counter-Strike 2. But no, using AI is just another thing that will make people justify hatred towards me and my content. So what do? Do I continue making the content I want to make, or do I go all corporate and smart with what I make to try and appease the latest hate trains and trends? 3Clicks Philip's going to release a non-AI version of the video this time, just to see how it does, and because then if I do that, surely everyone will be happy. But ultimately, I'm going to continue being creative. I don't want to spend my life bending to appease people who don't appreciate what I do. I love that video I made, and it took a long time and a lot of effort to make. And if people want to throw the whole thing and the entire Click Empire onto the bus for it, then that's like your opinion, man. I get it. AI's new, it's scary, and it looks like it's coming for us all. I'm just the easy target for people to direct their fear and hatred at right now. But until AI replaces me, I may as well adopt it into my workflow if it makes my work a little easier, a little faster, and or better in the meantime. Doesn't really matter, AI will be coming for us all, and you can't just bury your head in the sand. But at least in the meantime, if you really don't like my AI generated filler content, you can still just close your eyes.